It's been a pretty cool week. I mean, other than, whatever, but I mean, re-energized. I mean, it's been a re-energizing week. You get one of those weeks that come after a bad week or a down week. You get that week where everything just comes together and you're like, sweet, this is it.
Wow. So you're doing some deals already, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. And some pretty good leads and some pretty good follow-ups. Fortunate follow-ups, man. I'm telling you.
Wow. Okay, let me share this screen. Let me put everybody in. Share the audio.
KK is coming in.
All right.
Kenneth Kaminsky is coming in as well. Hopefully, KK is in the house. What's going on, KK? Oh, he's connecting his audio. You there?
Yeah, Zoom is kind of, you got to give it 20 seconds before you do anything. Huh?
Guess so. I'm going to try to see which way do we want to do this. Like this, maybe.
Who blowing my phone up? If I go live, the phone start going crazy. KK,
that. Are you out there? You're muted.
I am here, sir. How are you, gentlemen?
Not bad. How you doing, Kenneth?
And lady. Not too bad.
And lady. That's right. Isabella's out there. Are you out there, Isabella? Is your mic working? You can always shoot us a chat if you want as well, if your mic isn't working. And anybody that joins is more than welcome to chat in a question, or we are live in the Hootie's House Buyers Club Facebook group as well. So if you have any questions, you want to interact with us there. We're also live in Chris Monroe's social media platforms.
We live. Let me see here. How do you do that? Is that going to do that? There we go. That looks better. Let me change my background too. What up, Rich? My birthday is in 4 days.
It is 4 days, man. 4 days.
That's right. 4 days.
What's the number, man? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm in my 30s, man. I'm finally.
Are you really?
I'm finally in my 30s. You know how it is.
Finally in your 30s. I love it.
Yeah. Don't rush it, bud.
I shave this facial hair off. They be trying to ID me. I'll be like, what you want to ID me for, fool? Let me see your ID. That's what I tell them too. I do give them a hard time if they ever ID me.
Do you?
I be like, where your ID? Let me see how old you are. I'm older than you.
Right. It's great, man. When I was in college, I used to work for I worked at a convenience store in college, and that was part of the thing was IDing ladies that you knew were well beyond that 21.
Wow.
You asked for the ID back this was back, it was before they make you ID everybody under 40. So it was like, well, you look like maybe you're in your 30s. Where's your ID? Oh my gosh, you ID'd me. Made their whole day.
ID you for cigarettes. What did they up the age for that yet? What you got to be 21 or still 18?
It's 21 now.
I think it's 18.
They change everything so much.
No, 21.
21 to smoke? Dang.
21. Yep.
Whatever, that's fine.
Everybody I know was smoking at 13, and y'all talking about some 20.
Right. I remember walking to the drugstore and paying 85 cents for a pack of Reds.
Well, there's a law now, so people will stop. It's a law, so they will stop smoking.
Yeah.
That's how government works. Shut up, gosh, dang it. We've been, what time is it? 6:04. Dang it, 6:04, 4 minutes in. Had to make my little quit. No, I'll shut up.
So you say you got a stack of deals over there, huh, Rich?
And I tell you, I'm this folder right here. Oh, you can't see it now. I got a folder now.
Oh wow, it's so fat we can't see it.
I know, it's so, man. All the white paper is just whiting out the background there. No, I mean, I've got a folder of about 50 leads that in my ticker, the follow-ups or leads as they come in, and just following up on them and making calls and whatever. And it's so far been pretty darn good. Had a lead actually, had a pretty quick four day lead sale. One that came in, and when looked at it on, when looked at it last Sunday. Put an offer in on it 2 days later, so like Tuesday. Gave them 2 days to look it over. They actually just called us the next day, said let's do it. And in 2 days we had a buyer, but they were doing some things, and they were getting ready to go on a trip and stuff. So but we did. I was like, that's cool. They went down to Branson, sent everything over DocuSign, had them Venmo over the EMD, and it's locked up. It's done.
Look at you using all. You got Venmo, you got Cash App. You out here wild with it, huh? PayPal.
I just want to make it. I want to make it a little secure, but I'd heard there was a big breach in the Cash App recently.
Yeah, it wasn't a breach. It's a thing when people try to call Cash App, you cannot call anybody at Cash App. People don't know that. They just rolling that out. There is no customer service for Cash App, so that's why people were getting scammed. They will Google Cash App phone number and it'll come up, 800 woo woo woo, and you'll call it, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, add this money to there so we can fix it." And next thing you know, they're taking your money out your account.
Oh, that sucks.
Ask me how I know about it, because I know somebody who got scammed. That's the only reason I even knew it exists.
That sucks.
They got scammed for about $1,500.
Yeah, I had a tenant reach out to me this week saying, "Hey, I don't think I'm gonna make it to the bank on time. Do you take Cash App?" And I was like, "I'm staying away from Cash App right now." It's like, if you want, you can Venmo it or PayPal. And they said, "Well, I'll just run to the bank." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine."
Yeah, Cash App worked fine. Somebody just sent me $2,500 on it, so it's no problem. Okay. Cash App works great, but that's where they get you at, is where you're like, "Oh, let me call customer service." You Google the number, and these numbers come up on there, and you thinking, "Oh, that's Cash App," and it's somebody in a foreign country. "Hello, yes, go ahead and tell me your 3-digit number on the back of the card," and you're like, "Oh, 555." And you just tell them, and next thing you know, they stealing your money some kind of way. Wow. They smart, but they ain't gonna outsmart me. I already knew the game. See,
right.
So when I first saw the headline and say data breach or some Cash, I said, I bet it's something to do with this scam that somebody else went through that told me about it.
Okay.
But I was like, dang, you can't even call Cash App. But glad I don't ever want to call them. And that's where they get you at, because there is no number.
Gotcha.
But I take rents on there.
Okay.
Use that cozy.co.
I was using Cozy, but man, it was taking like 10 days to get payments processed. So I stopped using Cozy.
Well, it depends on how they pay and if you set up for express payouts. Mine goes the next day most of the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But all of my rents are due on the 28th and late on the 1st anyway. So
Yep. Yeah.
I do
the 3-day grace period thing. I was doing, let's see, my very first couple of tenants, it didn't really make that big of a deal, but it was like, let's just say, if you pay by the 1st, rent is $700. Let's just say, anytime after that's $725, and that's the actual rent date. But then, if you're 3 days late, it's $780. Whatever your late fee is. $50 late.
And do you know how much money I've made on late fees in the last year or so?
I have.
That's like a secret little thing that nobody even talks about. How much money can you make on late fees? Just be late. I don't care. Pay a day late. I don't care. Yeah. Before you know it, you're gonna amass the extra $2,000 or $3,000 in pure late fees. I feel like the bank.
Right. Exactly. You're right. I mean, I had a couple tenants that were habitual. They were like a rolling 30 days late, and I wasn't ever on it. They would pay. They were just about 30 days late, and they were getting their 10% late fee on 3 days late, and then after 5 days late, I charge them $5 a day for admin. And that racks up. They're like, "What's my balance?" It's like, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, "Well, what?" I go, "Well, you pay up and stay on time."
Yeah, my one in North County, she pays $1,200 a month, and every time she's late, make it $1,320. Thanks.
Doggone.
So, and a couple days won't hurt.
Right.
There's Casey, and there's Robert.
Casey joined us. Robert's driving, I think.
So he out. He down there speeding. Don't be speeding down there, Robert.
Right. It's that Dallas traffic. You're probably 2 hours from home now, and you only live 20 minutes away. You're on the 35.
On the I-35. Evening, everyone. What's up, Jermone? Yep. So we are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, the gamer site, on Periscope as well, in the Woke Real Estate Investing group on Facebook, and Rich has us in the Hootie's House Buying Club Facebook group. Make sure you join that as well. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, everybody? What's happening? I put out a video today because I'll be honest. Let me mention something, and we don't have a topic of the day or a topic or whatever. We're just chit chatting. We talk real estate, right? But I made made a post earlier in the week about how you basically could change your own fortune, right? That if you don't like your situation, take action and change it. And some just, I posted a Facebook Live earlier promoting this tonight, just saying, hey, look, if you want to learn about how you can change your life using real estate, join us. So we'll see how many people join us from seeing it. I mean, not like millions of people are going to see that video, but
we got about 23 people watching right now across the platforms.
Awesome.
So the people can go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share, tag somebody, and if you want to join in, you can join in as well. You can join into the Zoom call. I actually put the link up at wokerealestate.com. I cheated. So if you want to just go click that link and it'll bring you right in at wokerealestate.com.
It may make you do one other step where you register for the you'll get an email from then on that'll remind you about these sessions.
Right.
But once you register, you'll be able to join any of our group sessions.
Oh wow, they must have did some sharing or something. The numbers went up a little bit.
Woo-hoo.
So cool.
Yeah,
so yeah, I just had something go on. I had a wholesale deal that really basically was done within like a day. I don't know if you saw a post I put up about a month ago that it was around Labor Day. It was like sold in 24 hours.
Right. Yeah, I did.
It finally just closed. I'm like, oh my gosh, that thing took forever. So it took 30 days or so because we went to one title company. They gave us a headache. Was like, oh, well, you can't use the power of attorney. Gave us a runaround after wasting 3 weeks. So I had to take it to another title company. That's why I be saying these title companies, but I don't want to say nothing bad. Took it to another title company. No problem. They got the deal done until we get to the end. So they closed the deal up with the buyer and the seller on Friday. I'm like, where's my money at? Why didn't hit my bank? Where's my bank wire? It didn't hit, right? So I'm thinking, oh, maybe because, it'll come on. Maybe they sent it late on Friday, or maybe it'll hit. And then I said, oh, dang, Columbus Day, Monday, or Indigenous Peoples Day, or whatever you want to call it yesterday, right? So it didn't hit Monday. So I'm thinking, well, maybe it'll hit tomorrow. So today is tomorrow. I look at my thing like, why it ain't hit yet? I call them, I'm like, what's going on? What's the hold up? Oh, you didn't send the wire instructions. I'm like, man, you got the wiring instructions with the first paperwork you got, because I send the whole packet with everything you need.
I was gonna say you got that all in the one sheet, right? All the instructions.
Everything you need: the contact for the buyer, the contact for the seller, emails, phone numbers, wiring instructions for me, everything, right? The actual breakdown of the deal, all on, ready to go. Nice, clean package. And I spoke to them on Thursday of last week. Emailed it to them again, and she said, "Oh, let me check. Oh, it's in my spam." So she had it twice. Finally put it in, and it finally hit today to the promised land. Woo!
Good. it's like never mind. I'll come out and collect it from you.
I mean, the deal was done quick. Put it out, sold in less than 24 hours, and took 38 days or 35 days or something to close. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Was it just was the title company just backed up that much, or were there problems with the title?
So yeah, the first one they delayed and waited all the way to the day before closing, because this was supposed to close like I want to say the 27th, 28th of September, something like that. It was supposed to close then, but then they waited to the day before closing and say, oh yeah, you can't use this power of attorney.
Wow.
And then I called another company and they said, oh yeah, we don't do power of attorneys at all. They got to sign another document to say that they even why are they using a power of attorney? Wow. And then I said, well, I ain't gonna use them. And I went to another title company, and that's who really got the deal done after all that. But lo and behold, we finally got it to the finish line.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know why. I haven't dealt with the title company that won't take. I mean, they may have to take the original notarized power of attorney. They won't take a copy. They have to have a wet copy of one that's actually notarized. But if you got that, I mean, I haven't run into one that doesn't take that.
Well, I just called and they said they wasn't going to take it unless, because I had to ask them, because I already know I had issues the first time. So a second company, I called and say, yeah, can y'all do this deal? They have a limited or a power of attorney for the real estate. Are you able to close this deal? And they, oh, well, they're going to have the seller sign off on something else if they're going to use a power of attorney. But I'm glad I asked them before sending them that stuff over and going through all of it again. So then I tried with a third company, and then they went through. So I've been through 9 different title companies, and guess how many of them are great?
How many? None?
Half of one.
Oh man, that's why I'm glad. I guess I'm lucky. The one I use. I mean, I've used a few over in Missouri. Different ones. I don't just go to one. But for my Illinois deals, if it's in St. Clair County or Monroe County, I'm using one. And every once in a while, Madison County one, because I don't want them to have to go from Columbia, Illinois, all the way up to Edwardsville or whatever all the time, or wherever. I think that's where it is. So I'll ask them if they can do it, and it's not going to burden them. They'll do it, but and I mean they would do it if I asked them to every time. But yeah, that one I try to use the one title company because they had done me right the whole time. I'm lucky. I know I'm lucky. Title companies seem to be like, and I'm not knocking title companies. I don't know what, I don't know all the little details that go behind everything they have to do and all that. I get it. But it seems a little like management companies, that it's just, you get a lot
hard
of
to find a good one. Hard to find a good one.
It's hard to find a good one.
But yeah, like I said, that first one held it for 3 weeks, waited to the day before closing to give me an issue. Like, dude, y'all knew this 2 weeks ago. I sent you this on Labor Day.
That's ridiculous.
Why you wait 3 weeks and then say, oh yeah, we can't.
You only need 2 days to close, so how about we start doing them all in 2 days?
Well, I know they got to do the title search and wait for people to send back bills and all that. I understand that, but like that whole delay, then wait till the day before closing to be like, oh yeah, we need one more, or that power of attorney, we can't use it and all that. Why y'all didn't say something way back then?
Right. I'm interested to see one of the deals I've got it's under works. It's a signed deal. It's an inherited property. The two of the 3 sisters are executors. One brother has nothing to do with it. 3 sisters and a brother. One brother lives out of state, has nothing to do with it, but I mean, he'll get his share. Out of the 3 sisters that live local, only 2 of them are the executors, but the will hasn't been recorded.
Oh, geez.
So they've got the will, they've got the copy of the will, and they're going to take it to the title company, hoping the title company will just go ahead and record it with the sale. I'm like, you might want to. So I told them, look, here's the title company number, get a hold of the title company, make sure all that's legit and what they can do ahead of time. We had to push back our closing date.
So they willed the property to the kids.
Right.
But it was never recorded.
Right.
Oh, there's no way they're going to accept that.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I mean, I guess they could. I mean, why would they not? Do you have to record a will?
Certainly do. It has to be notarized by
and it might be.
But notarized versus recording is 2 separate things.
Right, because like I go to, we've gone to a notary to record like different kind of things, right? I mean, we did a deal Chris, where we did that creative deal with the folks from California who were in town and bought that house in Cahokia. And, we went to the UPS store, had it notarized, but then the buyer actually took it to the courthouse to record it. If they didn't have to, I mean, I guess they didn't have to. I mean, there would have been legal problems there, but
yeah, because I did a will before I went to Iraq because I didn't know if I was gonna make it back, and we didn't record it. I think it was a notary there, but I don't believe it was recorded because that's a recording is only for that jurisdiction. A will is just for life. You know what I mean?
True.
So I don't think that should be an issue.
That'd be interesting.
It wouldn't make sense.
I hope not. I mean, as long as it's notarized, it should be good. She said notarized copy, I think. She said, but it, they just didn't record it. And then as we're looking into it, it's like, well, there's in the system, it's showing a line of credit, a line of credit on the house, less than what the purchase price was. So it's not that big a deal. That'll get paid off, in their proceeds. But it was like, we checked in, said, hey, just wanted to know, is there a line of, there's a balance on this line of credit? They're like, no, we paid that off 2 months ago. I gotta go, I'll call in and check and see if they've got it released. And the lady, the seller, one of the sisters works in mortgages, so she at least knows the game a little bit. So I'm gonna reach out to them, make sure they get it released. I'm like, well, you might want to get that released. The title company can probably do that as long as you got proof that you paid it.
Right. Because they'll definitely say, I don't know what you talking about. We ain't getting no payment.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of, that's one great thing about this business, man, it really is cool. It can be frustrating, but really cool thing is you learn something new every single deal, just about.
Every time.
Thing or a whole different structure. You learn something new every single time.
Because like that deal I was just telling you about, we closed another deal in between. All of that time, that deal was waiting. With another thing, something totally separate and different. That house sold in 48 hours, so that was a quick one up in Jennings.
Wow.
I should have probably kept that one, though. Some people be like, some of these houses, I'll be like, some of them I need to keep some of them. Wait a minute. Can't sell them all off.
Right. That's true.
That's the dilemma you run into when wholesaling real estate.
True.
Do you ever think about keeping any of the ones you find, Rich?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm gonna be I'll be honest. I was actually talking to Kenneth Kenneth earlier this week that the wife and I are gonna actually start and talking with Casey last week at the meetup, face-to-face meetup. We're ready to pull the trigger and start doing some flips. I'm going to be pretty picky on which ones, again, kind of like with my rentals, I cherry picked, you cherry pick which deals I'm wholesaling. I'm going to cherry pick which deals I want to flip. And so I'm putting it out there. If somebody's got a dang sweet deal, let me know. It may be a couple weeks, maybe to a month until we're ready to actually do it. But yeah, that's going to be our focus here. Not focus, but I mean, we're going to add that to the belt to actually start doing more flips. I've done a few already, but now I'm going to be more active in getting that ready. So,
because you know how many I flipped already.
What's that?
You know how many I flipped already.
Yeah. Big goose egg, right? Yep. But that's all right. I mean,
I got to step out the comfort zone and stop playing.
It's tough, man. It's tough. I'm trying to have pure growth. I mean, this 2020, man,
I flip a contract.
Exactly.
But if I'm gonna do all that,
all day long.
Yeah. I'm looking at one now that I might buy, but I don't know, depending on the situation. I think the number's kind of high. The lady called me multiple times. It's actually a real estate agent that's trying to help her client out sell a house, but the house is up in North City.
Okay.
So I think they owe about $30,000, something like that. Okay. But they basically trying to get, and the loan is behind like maybe $3,000 or something. Plus closing costs, plus the real estate agent trying to make money on top of it. So basically, they're trying to push the numbers up to like $7,000 to get the deal. But I'm like, I don't really want to be that deep. I said, if you can get me in for $4,000 or less, I'll be your buyer. Because the payment's only like $270 a month. How low can your payments be?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's low as heck. So $270 a month, and I'm looking at it, but like she trying to make a lot of money off of it, and she's saying that, well, the seller really wants to make some. I'm like, well, the money they make is on back payments. They didn't make payments for $3,000 worth. That's their money. They didn't make no payments all this time. So, to be acting like, oh, I still want to make a big check. You're dreaming. Straight up. I mean, that's the money going to pay your loan up that you didn't pay.
Yep.
And anything else, taxes or whatever else, there's always some other gotchas in there.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, hoping not to run into any of that myself with that deal, Rich.
Yeah.
Still working with some lenders. I just got an email from a guy that I'd still have to be out of pocket considerably, but his JV, he says he'd do an 80-20 split.
Where he'd give you 80 and keep 20 himself?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure, man. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Like,
Yeah, that's
that.
If we wrap the repairs and purchase price all together is what he's saying.
Tell us about that deal. Tell everybody about that deal, Ken.
Well, the ARV I calculated at 160. I believe it'd be higher once it's finished, but have the contract signed at 55 and about 60,000 in updates and repairs is what I have budgeted.
Nice.
But yeah, like you said, if he wrap up the purchase price and the repair, he'd want to JV it and do an 80-20. Otherwise, I'm looking at I don't remember what it said now.
And you can buy for how much now?
What's that?
You said you can buy for how much?
55.
Ooh, that's tight. I just did the numbers real quick. Kind of tight.
That's your 70-30 textbook. I mean, the carrying costs that are calculated in there aren't going to be necessary, quite honestly. It's only a 6 or 8 week rehab.
Yeah.
So
you'll make what on it? What kind of profit you'll make on it?
I'm hoping around 30 grand.
So wait a minute, you said 160.
Flip. I mean,
let me make sure I got
be spending about 10 grand a week in.
And you said 60K in repairs?
Yeah.
60K. I got 52. And you said you can get
like I said, the holding costs aren't going to be that great.
Yeah.
So I
like a little more meat on the bone, especially if I'm gonna work. If you're gonna work me, I gotta get paid. I like it for 40. Right. Maybe I'm just cheap. I'm used to being a St. Louis buyer. Be cheap.
Right. This guy was originally asking for 100, I think, right? And you got him down to 55.
Right.
He was nuts. Wanting to do 100 anyway, but
Right.
Let him carry that money, and y'all do a JV deal with him, and don't put none of that money up.
Right. I'm telling you, man, that might be the way to go.
Yeah, because I feel like them numbers are tight. Just being honest, I mean that seems really, really tight. Like if you have any little hiccup, your profit is gone.
Well, that's why I have a clause in my contract that if I'm not satisfied, it's no deal. But yeah, as far as the numbers go, I mean, 160 at 70%, it all works. It's 52 should be, 55, but or 52. But I bumped him up to 55. His 52 was just I thought was too low. Plus, like I said, the carrying costs that were calculated. I can take $3,000 out of that and not miss it. No, that's not going to be a problem.
52, yeah. I don't know. You braver than me.
It's gonna. I mean, you should be all in it, like all in. That's closing costs, the sales, the sales commission on the sales side. You should,
That's everything.
If you're gonna flip it, if you're gonna keep it as a rental, it's a different thing. But if you flip it, then yeah, you should probably be in it all at about 130, roughly. So you buy. If it's worth 160, there you go. You should clear 30, but that's if there's absolutely no hiccups.
And don't forget, it is the Rona season. Anything is possible. And election season, anything is possible.
You get a hiccups, you can just say, well, 2020.
Yeah.
Well, I have it tied up for 60 business days.
Good.
But yeah, I don't see that being a problem. Like I said, I went with the 160, but I believe that it would fetch higher. I mean, probably 170, 175 actually is probably.
Oh, okay. So that's better. I'm finna say, because I'm like, the numbers I just calculated, that ain't adding up. I'm like, I don't see no profit in that. Just being honest. What you got, Robert?
What's up, Robert?
Yeah. Hey, so I'm getting ready to call this seller, and he messaged me back on my text blast, and so I had a chance to look at his property, and he wants 165.9, and it doesn't need much work on it. So I'm actually going to call him and see kind of what his, what he needs to get out of the property. So I'm hoping that once I talk to him, hopefully I can turn this into a rental because it doesn't need much work. Needs paint at the most that I saw just from the pictures. You kind of see kind of what his offer is, what he would take for it. Hopefully I can get it for around, 140 because I already ran the numbers and stuff to the calculator I got. I'm just gonna see what he's talking about. But any guidance y'all guys can provide, when I get on the phone, other than finding out what his needs are, I'm gonna mute this.
You broke up a little bit right there at the end there, Robert.
I want to see what kind of advice do you guys have. If y'all can't hear me, I'll put it in the chat.
So you said what kind of guidance you have for us talking to him, and do you know why he's selling or anything yet or no?
I don't know that yet. I'm actually getting ready to call him now to find out what his needs are because he's had it on the MLS, but it's been on there for a while. When people have property on the MLS for a while, they have to start cutting 5,000 here, 10,000 there, so they get to where they think they can sell it. And I kind of know the work that goes into doing a price cut when it's listed on the MLS because it's been on there for a number of days.
Yeah, whenever somebody's been on the MLS, it's part of my conversation. So, wow, I see it's been listed on the MLS for a little while here. Why do you think it hasn't sold yet?
Yep.
Let him tell you why he think it didn't sell. What are you going to do if you're not able to sell it? Always basic stuff like that, especially when they got that pain, and see if it's something they can tell you how you can close them most of the time by just asking the right questions, especially when they've been on the MLS for a long time.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Chris, what would your numbers look like? I'm curious to know how you would calculate that deal.
You said what? How you asking me or Robert?
You.
How would I calculate what deal?
The deal we were just discussing that I had, the 160 to 175.
So I just calculator. I'll put it back up on here real quick. Let's see. So 160 times 0.7 equals 112 minus, you said 60 in repairs equals 52. And that's not now that if you're talking about wholesaling it, you got to get it lower than 52. 52 is what a cash buyer will buy for, or maybe less, depending on who you selling to. Depending on the market. Because they might say 52 is good, 55 is good for them to buy, but where do you make money at? So I need to be about 40. Or I don't want to be messing with it, me personally. Now, if you're just going to throw it out there and you telling them you're not going to buy, and you tell them I'm going to see if I can find you a buyer, that's something different. But if you think about buying it at 52, you're good. But if you're talking about wholesaling it, 52 don't seem low enough to me.
No, I wasn't going to wholesale it. My plan was to rehab it the whole time. I'm pretty sure I went against the flip on it.
Well, I mean, it's good. I mean, if you're going to buy it, you're good. But I mean, like I said, I still want to be a little lower than that. That's just, when I see these numbers and I know I got to go put work into it and I'm trying to make a profit, I'm not going in light like that, because where did they get the number from they wanted anyway? Whatever number they made up, remember, whatever number they say was made up. If it was 100,000, if it was 50,000, if it was 20,000, somebody made it up. Where did you come up with that number from, Mr. Seller?
It's usually like everybody else, Zillow.
But, and then you have to debunk that, show them that
Right.
Zillow just said that's just a Zestimate. A Zestimate ain't nothing but an estimate with a Z in front of it. That's all a Zestimate is. You got to let them know that and show them actual comps in the area and say, look, this is what I can really pay for it if you really want to sell it. Unless you offer him something creative where he's either a JV partner in the deal or he's willing to sell or finance it to you, or something where you don't have to front all that money out of it and go through hard money lenders and have all that kind of stuff going on. I mean, you can do it that way. Not saying that's a bad way to do it. It's just that them numbers seem real tight to me. I like to make it to where I can mess up and still make money.
And being that it's a flip, yourself, you and you're keeping it yourself, you do have a little flexibility because do you want to make 38 or do you want to make 20 or do you want to make 15 on your flip or whatever? So you have some flexibility there, but you don't want to. Go through a 2-month flip and only make 15 grand. That's disheartening, but at the same time, you put in your, hey, there's a notch in my belt.
And then let me come back to it. You said it's 60,000 in repairs. I mean, that sounds like a full rehab, right?
More or less, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I mean, the place isn't torn apart. I mean, it could be cleaned up and probably sold right now for 80 or 100 is what the guy was thinking. Just do some minor repairs, some lipstick on it, whatnot.
So when they start saying that, when they thinking that, so why haven't you done that, Mr. Seller? Anytime they throw that junk at me, I'm turning right back on them. Why haven't you done that?
Right. His answer was he didn't want to get involved in it and then figure out he did something wrong or it was,
Exactly. So I'm going to take the risk and I'm willing to do that as long as you're willing to work with me. If you're not,
So yeah, that's why my numbers work out. The cost is in there for the sale. All the carrying costs are already in there.
Matter of fact, Casey's on the line right here. She's a professional flipper. Casey, what do you think about this deal? Is she still on here? Or she got off? She hopped off.
I think she dropped off. Yeah.
She flipping 3 deals a month or something up here. I'm like, that's the flipper.
Yeah, I was hoping she'd stay on because I wanted to talk to her.
I'm gonna tell her get back on here. Get back on here.
Casey? That's right.
But yeah, that's I mean, if you got experience with it and you can handle it, then more power to you. Just me, I like to be in the 40s. Just a cushion, just in case. There's always some gotchas in this stuff. Always.
True.
That's another reason the 60 is there for the rehab. It may or may not be necessary to do a lot of the things that are on there, but it's just things that I had considered.
You built in a little bit of a buffer with your numbers, your rehab numbers, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so that's what makes
sense.
And
like I said, the carrying costs aren't going to be that great. I'm not going to need $16,000 for carrying costs.
Right. Because what does he owe on a property?
Nothing.
So I mean, what's the difference? To me, like I say, what's the difference in 50 to 40?
Me getting the contract versus someone else.
But I mean, is he really gonna sign with somebody else?
He had 2 other people, yeah. He liked the fact that I was upfront and honest with him. He liked the fact that I took the time to get to know him and the history of the house, explained the things that needed to be done and where his thought process was wrong.
Yeah, well, that's good. Rapport buys more houses than cash ever will.
Exactly. He's 65. His parents are 90. So one of the 3 are going to end up having another house to be.
So you're going to go ahead and close on that deal?
Right. So there's, the parents have a house. The kid's 65. He's going to eventually have a house. So, if they can keep the same guy flipping their houses. I
So,
have no problem
so
with
you
that.
are going to be closing on that one?
Yes. As soon
Oh,
as,
okay.
well, I haven't put it into the title company yet. I've been working with some funding issues, but I'm not in a huge hurry. Like I said, I have 60 business days.
And that's the thing too. The lender will tell you, say, hey, yeah, we need to be around this number, or we'll lend this much. That's happened before on people too. Like, when I see end buyers, they go get a deal. Maybe we agree on a price, but their lender is only willing to finance X amount. You can run into that a lot of times. And that's why I like that buffer on having that extra juice in there.
Right, that I have run into. So that's the other thing, is if it is going to become an issue that I have to, lower it, I can always go back to them and say, hey, look, I offered it, but this is the way it is. I just can't get the lending on it, or whatever the reasoning might be. Explain that to him. I don't think at that point he would have an issue going down. I mean, yeah, that would suck to have to, take a hit like that, but going down
40,000. That's my number. I'm sticking to it. I mean, I said I had to be at 40, but I would like to be as close as 40 as possible. That just
he had already turned down 45, I think it was.
He turned it down. He told you he turned down, or he really turned it down?
I saw the offer.
So why did he turn it down?
He thought it was too low.
So he really ain't that motivated in, or something, or he just.
You got 55. You got 55 from Kenneth. No.
Well, if they at 45, I'm at 46. I ain't jumping no 10 grand. Hell no.
No, hey,
yeah.
Here's $50 right now, and we just do the same price.
he was asking 100, and he was offered much lower several times.
But an asking price
I
is
don't
just
see the difference in $3,000 for myself. Quite honestly, I'm not gonna sweat bullets and cry and lose sleep over $3,000. I'd rather pay $3,000 to have continual service and referrals than, make somebody feel like a complete ass and not ever get a call back from them or any of their family or friends.
Yeah. Well, if you get it to the finish line, that's all it's about. If you can make it successful, that's what makes all the difference. Because we actually get a lot of deals like that. They go on our website and see all these testimonials of people saying, "Oh, Chris, help me out. Oh, it was so great. Oh, it was so smooth." And they say, "Oh, well, I want to be like those people." And they sign up. They don't even question nothing. They sign whatever we say sign. We send them a DocuSign and they fill it out and get it back immediately.
Right. Yep. I've got that on my website as well.
Yeah.
But like I said, $3,000. If anybody's going to sweat over $3,000, it's not worth the time for me.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. As long as you get her done, you should be good to go.
Worst case, I have to do the 80-20 split. That's the worst case.
I mean, you might look into that. Honestly, I mean, it might be a good deal and then that way you can take that money you make, roll it into the next one, and now you got that money down that the next guy's asking for. So
right, I think. Yeah, I think that case I'd only be out $2,500 out of pocket, $2,500. So that's not so bad. But
seriously consider that. That way you can get it going early. Maybe get it done before winter.
Yeah, because it's gonna get cold.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem getting it done. Like I said, it's a small property. It shouldn't be any more than 8 weeks. You're spending $10,000 a week, right?
Right.
6 to 8 weeks. If there's a delay in crappy weather or something, somebody gets.
Hopefully you can get it done before that. Somebody's coming on with that Chris Monroe name.
They use that link.
They must have clicked your link, which is fine.
They use the link. That's
Monroe
Casey
Jr.
coming back.
She's back. She's back.
I think we can change.
Well, I'm seeing double.
Yeah. I figured out how to change my background. Isn't that great?
Sweet. That is awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't see your reflection in that mirror. What's that mean? No.
That means I was in the QT bathroom and I was feeling sexy.
Oh, well, good.
We were just asking about you because we're looking at this deal he's working on over here. A flip. I know you're a flip expert.
Oh no, I'm trying to still perfect that because that's a perfection all in itself.
He said the ARV is 160, and
that's at minimum.
At a minimum, 160, and it's supposed to be about 60K in repairs.
Up to.
Well, I got a sheet. If he don't, unless I don't know. I'm guessing he knows what he's doing, but I got the sheet that I use to help me determine how much the repairs are going to be.
And for that person that's asking, how do you come on a live? Go to wokerealestate.com. There's a link right at the top. The one Casey just clicked. Go to wokerealestate.com. It says join the live right now. Click that button. It'll bring you right in.
So they seem to have a little discrepancy in the amount that was offered to the owner. So what would you say on that deal?
Sorry, I'm kind of like helping get dinner rolling here, so I'm not really sure if you're talking to me or if you're talking to Chris
Yes.
or Rich.
Yes, Chris and Rich, and I've already gone through. I was asking what your numbers would look like.
So to be honest, my phone has been ringing, and so I had to like get off the call for a minute, and I really only heard the very beginning parts of it. Hold on one second, Isabel. If you want this, there's the sandwich, and then there's that, and you can put ketchup on.
I'm going over there to get some of them sandwiches from Casey. Wait a minute.
Oh, kidding. Where we meeting, Casey?
Well, we got quesadillas. I don't know if y'all can see this, but
Man,
that's what we're doing, and some chicken sandwiches.
we're doing quesadillas.
Quesadillas.
That's what you call your homemade quesadillas, right? Quesadillas.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
So
just sorry.
I'm going to go down to my office now so I can better assist our friend that starts with the K over there.
Okay.
Yeah, KK, where's your camera?
I don't have a functioning camera in any of my technology. That seems to be the first thing to go for me for some reason.
Camera's going out. Cool.
So, okay, we got a 160 ARV. Would you say that the area is, I don't know, an up and coming area, a dilapidated area,
No,
or like it's a solid ARV? People want to move there, and they're flocking to it.
Oh yeah, I mean there was a house up the street. It's probably twice the size of this one, and brick. It sold for $218. It's the Clayton Tam area, so it's definitely a popular area, Dogtown.
Oh, so you're in St. Louis. So I know that Chris does people all over. So
Right.
Yeah. So that's a pretty solid ARV. I would probably actually push the percentage from a lot of people do 70% just to be safe. I would probably push it to a 75 or 80%. Of the repair value. So keeping things simple. If it was $100,000, I know you said 160, but this is just to keep math simple for me. If it was $100,000 ARV, I would probably say, okay, well, for me, it's worth 75,000 minus what was your repair number?
60.
Max of 60. And there's
60,000.
and there's some wiggle room in there. Not everything has to be done.
Yeah, 20%. You're all the way up to almost 70,000. If it's 20%.
But the one thing you have to think about when you're manipulating the whatever your multiplier is from the ARV, if you are the flipper, if you're the rehabber, that's taken away from your profit.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and not to be a kill, I know exactly, but in order to be competitive, though, to make a competitive offer, I'm on board with you 100%, Casey, on that. Because if it's a hot area, you got to bump it up to 75 or 80 sometimes.
Right. So, because I have an area, I have a house that I'm dealing with actually the daughter, and like I'm not the best negotiator. Like I'll shoot my shot, I follow up, but at the end of the day, if you're not ready, you're not ready. And I don't always know, I guess, the best follow-up questions for that. But getting back to how I came up with this is actually Jen Barr. Jen Barr was like, oh yeah, that's definitely an 80% area, over there in St. Charles. It's off of 70 and Dumbbell. And I was like, oh, okay, so then maybe I can manipulate this a little bit more to get this lady a little bit more money than my original $57,000 offer. And I did. I was able to go up to 65, but I was waiting for her to shoot me back, and I guess that was the wrong play because we've been playing with this for like 2 or 3 months now.
What is her motivation for selling anyway? Why is she selling?
Her mom's living with her, and there's just a squatter situation I keep telling you about, Chris. I need to go see my work husband and and get that on so then we can communicate.
So that's the thing though. So is money really even the problem? Money may not be the problem. The problem may be dealing with that squatter.
Yeah.
See,
Well, it is
offering
annoying
more
because
money,
you
not
want-
all, you know what I mean? A lot of people want to throw more money at it, which is a play, but I wouldn't throw that as always the first play. The best play might be dealing with that squatter or dealing with whatever
Right.
issue they have, because they may not really care about the extra money you're throwing at them.
Right, exactly. Now, so going back to Mr. K over here, I'm sorry, what is your name?
Ken.
Ken?
K-E-N. Yes.
Ken? Okay. So Ken, I would say that, whatever wholesale fee you're trying to get, if that's your end goal, then of course you would minus that. And, at $60,000 repair number, I would, because not everybody's going to do everything to that house. I
Exactly.
actually, if the cabinets are good, then, that's probably $2,000 or $3,000 you can shave off your number, but I wouldn't go shaving numbers. I would just stick to the facts, and I would say, okay, mentally, I want $5,000 or $10,000 wholesale fee, and then I always add in 10,000 just to, room for negotiation. It's not what I expect. So then you're at 70,000, and so your house is really only worth $5,000. So. But obviously you have more room than that. So what did you end up offering them, or have you?
I have. It was accepted at 55.
35?
55.
55. Oh, nice. See? Good. So you already got it. That's awesome. I think that you did great with that.
Thanks. Yeah, like I said, the ARV would be, it could go up to 175. I don't have a problem. I think that wouldn't be a problem at all once it's completely done. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to stay
And this house
conservative
is for
the
you?
numbers. What's that?
Is this house for you?
What do you mean?
Like, are you going to rehab it?
I'm going to have it done. I cannot do the rehabs myself.
But you're gonna
Well,
hire.
I don't do any
hire
of
a crew.
my. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
I'll be
do any
hiring
of the
them.
rehab myself either.
Yeah, I will be hiring people to do it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, I can barely swing a paintbrush in a straight line. So that's when I say is it for you, I mean are you the one that's going to be coordinating the rehabs, not necessarily actually doing it.
You swinging the hammer?
Yeah. If I hit the nail on the head twice, I won.
Wow.
I played that game at Six Flags.
Mhm.
What's going on? We got Chris Jackson in the house.
What up? Texas in the building.
That's right. And we got Bobby Blue here too.
Oh man, y'all done brought everybody out today. All right. Y'all must knew my birthday was Saturday or something, didn't you? Lucky Libra's in the building.
I think everybody's on to wish you a happy birthday, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So Casey, tell us more about any of your flips you got going on right now. Any of your rehab.
Yo,
Sorry, I have complainers in the building right now. Hold on.
They don't like their Casey.
I hear you now, Chris.
No,
yeah,
they're
Chris.
fighting. Somebody's hurting somebody. It's always the same.
How's New York, Bobby?
It's always the same.
From New York, right? I forgot. You're from New York, right? Or in New York? Do I have that wrong?
Yeah, New York, Connecticut.
Oh, that's right. Because did we talk about the pizza in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Right. Oh man, I was just thinking about that today. I don't know why. I was just thinking about old Frank's Pizza. Man, how's everything going up there?
Huh?
How's everything going up there?
It's okay.
New York, right? I forgot. You're from New York, right? In New York.
You got a echo or something going on. Somebody got a feedback.
New York, Connecticut. Oh, that's right.
Somebody
Cool.
might need to mute their Facebook group or YouTube or something.
Mhm. And Chris Jackson down there locking down Dallas hard.
He is, man. But you got what do you got going on, Bobby? I mean to call you out, man.
Right?
You're on mute again.
Hello?
Yep, there you are.
Yeah. But right now, I'm just trying to change my marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? What are you doing?
I'm looking to get into Facebook ads and deal funnels and stuff like that. to
Okay.
bring more leads.
Yeah. Is
And
it?
I'm
Is
still
it
learning Connecticut.
okay. Have you tried? Has anybody tried YouTube ads? I'm just curious. Chris, even are you guys doing YouTube ads? Get a
I
pretty
got a
decent-
video with probably, I don't know, 8,000 views or something. I don't know what that
Really?
video got on it. Hold on. I gotta
That's
go
awesome.
look now. I ain't looked at it in a while.
That's awesome. Laura Lennington's getting on.
That's the marketing expert right there, Chris Jackson.
Yeah, Chris Jackson, the marketing man. What would you recommend for Bobby, Chris? He's wanting to switch up his marketing. You there, Chris? Can you hear us, buddy?
Zone a second ago.
So have you seen Bobby? Have you actually implemented your changes?
Not yet, but
Oh, I don't know why it keeps you like unmute, then it mutes you right away. There you go.
I haven't started yet. I'll start this week.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to see what those look like. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
Me too.
Send me a screenshot or something. Yeah.
I need some deals.
Let me know how it goes. Let me know what what audience you're using and what kind of results you're getting. I'd be interested in hearing about that.
Definitely. I'll let you know.
Sure. So thank you. Robert Muir getting on the call again. What, you guys have a power outage there in Dallas, Robert?
No, we didn't. So here's what happened. So this guy bought the house. He bought it last month. He bought it from a client up here. And so I started asking him kind of what his motivation was. Come to find out, he's an investor, as everybody else is in this world. He's an investor. So he wanted, and I asked him, I said, well, he started telling me about the appraisal that he just had, that it appraises for 185 and not 185, 175. And if it was put on an MLS all fixed up, it would get 185. And so he said he turned down an offer of 155. And I'm thinking, you just bought this house. You turned down 155. You want 165, but you won't take nothing lower than that. You haven't done no work. It needs foundation work.
Oh yeah, you can keep that.
Right. That, you just said it right there.
Foundation. Oh hell no.
So he says if I hire out, it's gonna cost about $10,000. If he gets it done, it's only $5,000.
We'll get it done. That's what I tell them. You an investor. See, I like dealing with investors a little more than everybody else for some reason now.
But then I turned it on its head. I said, well, if I don't get this one, how about you get some stuff from me? Buy some stuff from me. Don't look like we don't because I ran the numbers already, and the most that he could get for that house, even if I just did $3,500 in paint, man, the most that I could give him anyway is $140, to be honest. And that's pushing a little bit. And me personally, I don't think a 1,200 foot square house is worth $165,000. I just don't understand unless you because I asked him, I said, well, are you open to owner finance? He didn't want to do that. So I was like, well, dang, what's the point? He thinks it's going to go fast, but I think he's going to have to lower his price. I'd be surprised if it sells for 165, to be honest about it.
Do we owe something on it?
From my understanding, he bought it straight up because he's got another property that he gave me the address to. He told me he has tenants in it, told me how much it costs and things of that nature, and was like, run the numbers on it, see what you can offer from it. He's been earning rent for the past 5 years on it. So, I'd have to run the numbers to see. I don't think I can give him $275 for it unless he's open to owner financing. I just don't see it, man. Nobody's got $275,000 to buy for a house that you've already collected over $60,000 in renting. That's just a rough estimate.
That's why you got to flip that bad boy around. Just flip it on around. Why don't you just keep renting it out? It's making money. Why you selling it anyway?
Right. So it was almost he acted like he was giving me a favor, giving me the address when he know he's not gonna take less than $275. He already know he's not gonna.
And I already know that I'm always not the buyer. I'm just trying to see if it's something there. If it ain't, I'm probably not your buyer. Just let them know right up front, so they ain't even got to waste all that time trying to sell you nothing.
Yeah, it's practice for me, man. That's basically what it is, practice. 'Cause
Yeah.
I might as well get used to talking to folks, and because I know I'm gonna buy that house for 165,000. I can't see it, man, unless you put granite in there, all that stuff. But you're still not gonna get more than $185,000 on a 12, unless you gouging somebody like they do down there.
So wait a minute, where did he get that number from? An appraisal, you said?
He said he had an appraisal, but I have yet to see an appraisal.
Yeah, let me see what that look like. Let me look over that appraisal sheet, see what they put on there. Let me see, because my cousin an appraiser too.
Right. Yeah. And Chris, if you want, I'll punt it to you and let you get some laughs out of it. I mean, because I know you game, I should punt it to you and just to see what he's talking about, because he claims it's gonna go fast. And no disrespect to what he does, because it's a lot of people out there that does invest in, but everybody's approach is different. Some do it to get out of debt. Some people do it to get cash flow, which is why most people rent out properties. But then some people, I think, they run a scam.
And that's why you got to figure out what problem are you solving for him.
Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to solve any problem for him other than an attempt to give him $165,000 that I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. If we haven't identified a pain point or a problem, the numbers don't matter no way. If we ain't solving a problem for him, the numbers just numbers.
Well, he didn't have a pain point. That's my point. And this was from a text blast that I sent out. I think it was a lien list. Either the lien list or it was a vacant list.
So what are you going to do if you're not able to sell it? I ask all of them that same question. I don't care what the answer is. I just want to know what their mindset is. Well, I'll just keep renting it out. Well, I'll just do this and let them tell you what they're going to do.
Yeah, he said he would rent it out because he told me what it would rent.
He good.
I mean, there it is. I think I'll call him back and tell him my guy said no on it.
And then if that's something he wants to do with the renter, ask him about that. Have the renters been giving you problems? How they been doing? They've been paying on time? You got property management on, or you manage it yourself? See, I want to uncover that pain. I want to find out something is underlying there he hasn't spoke about yet. There got to be a reason, unless he just think he's gonna get a magical number that he ain't getting.
I think that's what it is, because this house that's $275,000 that he's been renting for the last 5 years. He says the tenants have been good tenants. I was asking him, why hadn't he offered to sell it to him? Because you can get rent forever from a person if they keep signing the lease and ain't trying to build their credit or none of that stuff. Which there's nothing wrong with a person that wants to rent forever. Maybe they don't want the house to look home repairs and things of that nature. I mean, because we know 70% of the population can't get a bank loan right now. It's just the red tape is too thick on that. So, I mean, if they want to rent forever and they can afford it and he keeps it affordable for them, why move?
Yeah, matter of fact, one of mine is expiring next month. My first one is going to be expiring November. They've been in there a year and a half. I ain't know the time's going to go that fast. And I'm guessing they're going to keep staying because they ain't saying nothing about moving or nothing. They just been paying rent. So just keep paying.
So what do you do in that case, Chris? Do you sign a new lease option or what?
Well, their option itself has expired. The lease has a contingent in it to say we can renew the lease, but I can up the rate if I want to. But I'm probably going to keep them the same because they're paying 12. What is she paying? 12, and my payment on that house is $750. So I mean, I don't have to hit her on it.
If you got somebody that's paying 12, that's
and it's out here in Oakville. It's in South County, so it ain't doing nothing. She building up a lot of equity in that house for me. It's already got about 50,000 in equity in it, so I don't know if I want to do some kind of refinance on that eventually or what.
So, what do you think the market will be like for you end of first quarter 2021?
So I bought the house.
Really start hitting.
Let me see. I got that house for $139, and I'm paying $750 a month. So $750 times 12 is $9,000 a year getting knocked off of there. And I had it almost 2 years. So we're down to like 120 something. And the ARV is like 195, 200.
Okay.
So, I mean, like it's all equity in there. It needed a little bit of work, because they've been living there, but it ain't nothing crazy. And even if it was, like I said, it's at least $50,000 in equity in the house with the work included, So, I mean, But the loan, I mean, it's not even a loan. This is a seller finance deal with 0% interest. So it's like, I'm not going to get a better deal than 0% interest. So let it sit and don't mess with it and let her keep paying it down. But whenever I do cash out the guy, I'm going to do the deal after the deal.
Okay.
So I'm gonna basically, so like say we get it down, say we owe them like 120. I'm gonna say, hey, yeah, I just came across some money and I thought about you. I know I owe you 120, but would you take this 100 even and call it even? And I just created $20,000 of free money out of thin air, and he gonna gladly take it. So that's my plan to do with it in about a year or two from now.
Say it again, Chris. I need to learn how to create money out of thin air.
Yeah, yes. I say that's a favor. Say drop a Jew. My bad. Let me slow it down. Bring it back. So it's called the deal after the deal. So we already got a deal with this guy. We already paying him every month like clockwork. He gets his money on auto pay straight from my bank. He gets $750 a month. $750. That's and so we paying down that principal, pure principal, no interest, all the way down, all the way down. So 2, 3, 4, 5 years go by. However, we got that balance knocked down. Remember, the value of the house still going up, and we knocking that principal down really, really quick. So say we get it down, say we owe him 120. I'm gonna give him a call whenever I'm ready to cash him out. Yeah, Mr. Seller or Mr. whatever his name is, I can't remember right now, but yeah, I know I owe you about 120 on it, but I came across some money and I thought about you. I want to know, would you consider taking this $100,000 for it even and calling it quits? So I just created $20,000 of free equity out of thin air, and they're gonna probably take it because he's been making, he's an older guy. He's like 60 something. So he'd be glad to take his money early and not have to wait, because we got a 10-year balloon on it, and we're only like a year and a half, 2 years into it.
Are you gonna sell it or are you gonna refinance it?
I would probably refinance it because it's in a good area. That house ain't gonna do nothing but go up in value. Like I said, it's already worth close to $200,000.
Cash out or like a equity line and like flip it over into something else.
I'm not even sure yet. I mean, I have to get to that bridge and I cross it. I just know it's got a lot of equity in it. That house and my other house in Afton got a lot of equity too. It's got like 40,000 in that one. But I'm like, I don't really want the loans in my name. But I'm like, over the time they built this equity up, and it's like, man, it makes it between a rock and a hard place. That's a good loan, 2.5% on hers. So that's why it's been coming down quickly too. So beating them principles down and the equity going, just rising up. So I mean, I guess I'm gonna cross those bridges when I get to them. I can't do a deal after the deal on her because I already own the house. I own it for the loan balance, and it's only owed like 74,000 or something like that. So. And the ARV on that was like 140, 150. So that house got money in it too. Hey, little baby. So yeah, that's the whole thing with this stuff. The deal after the deal is something you use once you already got a deal with somebody, when you're ready to go and you're going to cash them out, sooner rather than later. But when we cash them out, they don't know we're going to get another discount on the back end, which is going to create more money out of thin air. Because all this stuff's made up. That's what people keep forgetting. Like, oh, this seller said they want this. Where'd they get that number from? It's made up. Where'd you get the number from, Mr. Seller? Now, if they say, oh, I owe this much, okay, we know where you got the number from. But just coming up with these numbers, like, that stuff don't mean nothing to me. In reality, I can pay what I can pay. And if you want to do a deal, I'm your buyer. I'm your huckleberry. If not, what you want me to do? So hopefully that answered your question there. What else we got here? What we got going on? The face-to-face event behind you there, Rich. They don't know about that yet. Mm-hmm.
There we go. I'll take the mute off. No, So we had a really good event last Wednesday, wasn't it? Yeah, last Wednesday. So we're going to start doing a monthly face-to-face out at the Maryland Heights Hooters. We're going to kick it off with the October 22nd meeting. At 6 p.m. at the Hooters, Maryland Heights, face-to-face, bring your mask. And then we're going to start doing it monthly the third Thursday. See, third Thursday. Just think third Thursday. Third Thursday we'll do it in November, we'll do it in December, and then we'll kick it off again in January. But that, unless you're going to fly to New York or, Connecticut or coming in from DFW, it's probably local just to St. Louis folks. But so that's the local face-to-face PM meeting. We have our monthly lunchtime meetings that have been Zoom because of COVID, but we're going to do face-to-face in the evening. the third Thursday of every month, starting in November, but we're going to kick it off with this special one, October 22nd. So
I was just gonna say that's not Thanksgiving, is it? That's why I had to look on the calendar.
I looked. That's the fourth Thursday.
Oh, okay. It ain't Christmas, is it?
No, no, it's not. It's like the 15th or something like that, which would be, I don't know what you guys think. I mean, I wish, if you get the word out, maybe do like a toy drive or something, everybody bring a toy and we'll drop it off for Toys for Tots or whatever, we can get it to, whoever we can get it to. Maybe there's some, maybe some groups out there that we can, that people can recommend we donate toys to or something. I think it'd be kind of neat, but that's just me.
Yeah. Say Rich always giving back to the community.
Trying to. I asked our waitress, because I kind of advertised a little bit out last Thursday or the last Wednesday when we did with the breast cancer research that Hooters does, and you can round up your bill, or you could buy little, the little paper things that they put all over the wall for $1, or all these different things you could do to buy a pink drink and all this stuff. And she said we had quite a few folks that did that, so that made me really, really happy and proud that her supported the breast cancer research cause. So that was pretty cool. October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so but that's pretty cool. But anyway, so Chris Jackson, man, what's going on with you?
Oh, nothing much. Just joining, trying to pick up some knowledge.
Yeah. What you been working on, man?
Pretty much just some stuff within the DFW area. Got a few deals that I'm working on. Everybody in Texas seems to think their house is worth $500,000. So there you go.
Right off the rip, damn.
It's like they think the football team's a Super Bowl contender every year, and I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Oh man, that means it's gonna go up because the Cowboys doing good this year.
Man, did you see that? Oh,
Yeah.
Man.
I think they're supposed to be having the World Series here too. I think.
Yeah. They're hosting the World Series. My Dodgers looks like are losing 6-0 tonight. That is crazy. Wow.
Yeah. So the market here in the DFW, the reason why it's so, it's not really. People think it's saturated, but it's not saturated. You just have more people that potentially want to do, the wholesaling versus actually, really being in the business and doing it.
Right.
So you got a lot of people that are sending out text messages and cold calling and throwing out the high offers from different markets and stuff like that. And once, it might be a deal, but once they get 2 or 3 people calling them, telling them, yeah, we're going to give you 270, 280, 290, they're stuck there. And it's like, it's kind of hard to beat them down, So it's like, yeah, it's a deal, but
Right. Are you going to get it? Yeah. I mean, we would deal with that here in St. Louis too, Chris. We do. You get out-of-state buyers that don't know the market, and they think, the quote unquote war zone areas are worth $200,000 for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. So so now the seller thinks their house is worth that much. They've already been burned. And you're like, well, but are they actually going to close? Are they going to close? Are they, they've given you 200,000. So I'll tell people, if they say, look, I've already got an offer for 200,000. You know what? Honestly, you've got an offer for $200,000 and you're sure they can close and buy, and they'll buy it, do it. But a lot of times people don't know what they're doing, and they'll give you a number that isn't real.
One thing that I can respect about the DFW market, I guess you can probably say this about the whole Texas market, is once you got a deal and you shoot it out to the buyers, there's no beating you up on price. Like if it's a deal, more than likely they're gonna take it at whatever number you shoot out there. Like my last deal, I didn't go to the appointment. I sent the buyer on the appointment, and he was in and out of there like in 2 minutes. And he was like, yeah, just send me the assignment. So it's like, it's one of those kind of markets. And that's kind of one of the things that I appreciate about it. Like once you get it, it's like, it's pretty much a done deal. You don't have to think about, well, am I going to get it for this price, or are they going to beat me up? If you set it to where you're going to make 10 or 15 or 20, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that.
Wow. That's only for Frisco properties though, right?
Shit, if you can get a property out there in Frisco, that's like cream of the crop. That's like Hollywood. Yeah, that's like Hollywood. Anything Frisco, Mesquite, DeSoto, anything like that. Yeah, I kind of stay out of the Dallas area though. I like the Fort Worth, Tarrant County area because it's well, I think you pretty much know about the DFW area. And you have people that are from Dallas, right? You have Dallas County, you have Tarrant County, which is Fort Worth, and you have people that lived in Dallas all their life that haven't been 30 minutes outside of Dallas to even know where Fort Worth is. You have people in Fort Worth that's never been to Dallas, and it's only 30 minutes apart.
What about Arlington?
Arlington is pretty much Tarrant County, the Fort Worth area.
Oh, okay.
But that's pretty much if you know about Arlington, that's pretty much where everybody lands when they first move to Texas. If they move into the Dallas area, they usually land in the Arlington area. It's a mixing pot. So you have people from Kansas City, St. Louis, Chicago, New York. It's a big boiling pot. But I like to stay on the Tarrant County side because, you know, when people think about the Texas market, the first thing they think about is Dallas. Nobody really thinks about Fort Worth. So you still have those areas where you can go in, you can find like that deal I was telling you about. That deal needed absolutely no work. The ARV on that property was 230, maybe 235. And she could have actually just refinanced the house. I didn't ask her why she didn't refinance it because she bought another house before they closed. And she was just like, yeah, I want 120. And I was like,
sold.
Okay, 120 it is.
Say, where do I sign it? Hell.
Yeah, but it was a 3-2 brick with a 2-car garage, working pool, warranty on the pool, everything. So it's like that area, you can find those deals that don't need no work, that people they're ready to move on to bigger and better
There's good money in
things.
Fort Worth, isn't there? There's good money in Fort Worth.
Yeah, if you can, withstand the marketing costs, you can probably be, hitting $100,000 a month mark pretty easy if you're consistent with your marketing.
That's where the old oil money is.
Yeah.
And the stockyards.
Yeah, the Fort Worth stockyards, man. And then some of the older neighborhoods are pretty good too because you have the 1940s builds and older that are in redeveloped areas that nobody's touched yet, but they have the new houses around the corner. Like when I first moved to St. Louis, to Fort Worth from St. Louis, I was staying in Stop 6. So Stop 6 is kind of was a war zone kind of.
Okay.
Well, now they have new builds over there, and the new builds are going for 285, 360.
Dang.
Yeah. And when I say a war zone, I mean like back early 2000s, these houses were going for 65, 70 at best.
Dang.
But now it's definitely up there.
Dang, man. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. Like, I mean, nice houses. These are not regular houses that they're building. They're not shabby. They're,
I be looking at that. Some of them new builds, it seemed like you could almost ask whatever number you want and people pay it.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary. Like, wait a minute, I think we're missing a ball here. Why am I not messing with some new build stuff? Because it's like they can just make these numbers up. Like I keep saying, this stuff's all made up anyway.
It actually made me start looking into wholesaling lots. So those are the lists that I've been pulling lately. Start marketing to lots because it's like that's what's popular in Texas, man. Like the new builds, it doesn't matter where the market is in Texas. Those new builds are gonna fly off the shelf. Like even with everything that's going on, there's still low inventory.
Damn.
On the houses. So it's like, builders are scraping, trying to find any lot that they can to build, and it doesn't take long to build here. I mean, shit, they'll have a house up in 3-4 months.
2 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I
true.
think my house is up here where I'm at. I promise y'all, last month there wasn't nothing but dirt over there. Now they got about a 80. 60 houses over there. I'm like, but, you know, because they're going to tear it down. Every piece of land up here where I'm at and up in North Fort Worth, man, that's what they're doing. And they on top of each other. It's like,
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, you don't get much yard here on the new build. That's one thing you can count out of the equation, is they gonna pack them in like sardines, but they gonna get them done. I mean, they're pretty nice houses though. I mean, for the most part.
Pack them like sardines. Damn.
Hey, Chris Jackson. Hey, man, I sent you my number in the chat.
Okay.
Just because I got some lists that we can work together. There's no way I can work all these leads by myself. You can
Okay.
have half or whatever, brother, and let's work them, man, and see if we can't turn a profit. I mean,
Okay.
It don't do no good for me to sit on lists and, you know what I mean? Just, you know, collaborate, man, to get these.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that.
Okay.
I got
that'll
some
work.
too. I definitely got some leads that man, some unknown equities on the multifamily that I haven't even touched yet. It's because there's so many different ways you can go here in the DFW. Sometimes it's like, where do you start? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about. See, it was worth the price of admission. See,
Yeah.
show up and win.
But I'm definitely trying to get on Chris's coattail and get some of that action he has going on in St. Louis.
I ain't even doing nothing for real. I work this stuff part-time. That's the problem. I really probably should give it more attention because I really do this very, very, maybe 5 hours a week. That's kind of
Yeah,
light.
I mean that's the intriguing part about it is like I know you could probably do way more, but you're killing it with what you're doing though.
Right. I don't feel like I'm pushing myself enough. Do more.
Like in Shark Tank, you know, when they said, what's making you, what product in your product line is making the most money?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's the whole thing. When you got a lot of
Too bad
moving
we
parts.
can't do any of those crazy creative deals here in Texas.
No?
Oh, yeah, you can. You just have to do them in a different way. You can do them. You just can't do lease options. That's all.
They can't do lease options there?
Well, you can do them, but they're only short term.
Yeah.
So it's best just not to do them, basically. You can do them and just better not.
They're very short term, and then the price of the houses that you're dealing with is like you're looking for a very, very niche buyer to bring you 25, 30 grand, you know, to make the deal make sense. Because like on the subject to deal here, the closing costs ain't cheap. It ain't like St. Louis where you can get it done for 700. You're in the thousands when it comes to a subject to deal here, or just on closing costs alone.
That's fine. That's why we usually buy with nothing down. Okay.
Yeah.
And all I'm in it for is closing costs. That's exactly it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the whole. That's the secret sauce right there. Get it for nothing down, and the closing costs is all you in it. You know, 3-4 grand. You good. How many houses could you buy for 3 or 4 grand?
Yeah, I'd rather attack the Midwest with it because it's more plausible. I mean, everybody can buy a house in the price range of the houses that's up there versus, you know, like
as a matter of fact, what is it? San Antonio, my friend down there, they work with somebody. All they do is seller financing. That's their number one exit strategy. They do not do rentals. They only do seller finance. So I'm like, I know it can be done because somebody doing it, and he ain't the only one. There's other people.
Yeah. So what they mainly do here in Texas is they have programs like Divvy and other things, but the main thing of what they're doing is if it's not a subject to, they have an investor that's buying the property and then they put a markup on it.
Yeah, they sell them at 12%, like 12% interest.
Right.
So that's high as
so
hell.
if they buy it at 100, they'll sell it at 145, 160, and then get a down payment.
And get 12% interest while they wait. Exactly. That's exactly what they do. It's already predetermined, just like you just said it. I think they do 135 is what they sell them for. They got a bond for under 100, selling for 135, and they always get that down payment, and they charge them 12%. I said, dang, they got it all figured out. But they got
Yeah.
private money too, though, to take them deals
Have
down.
you seen some of the properties that they have on Divvy in St. Louis?
No, I have never looked.
Yeah, if you go on Divvy.com, they have, man, everything from North City to Deep County, but it's in all price ranges.
What is
And
it?
what they do is,
DIVI?
I think it's DIIVY.
DIIVY.com.
But
Divvy.
they, I guess they buy them at a certain price, and then you have to have a 580 credit score, and they put you in there on a down payment. But then your payment has a little bit of money added to it, like $100 or
Wait.
$150 that's, I guess, going towards your equity.
DIVVI?
Divvy Homes.
Oh, I'm for a second. I'm not getting the right thing here. DIVI Homes. Let me just
So I would
Google
like
something.
to know like what their strategy is, because it seems like it's a good program. And they have all type of homes. Like I said, they have stuff that hasn't even had work done to it that you can do yourself.
It's in the chat box. I put the link here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's actually up on the screen. If anybody's watching on the YouTube or the live, I actually put it up on the screen. I don't know if I can make it so y'all can see it or not. I'll mess up something doing too many buttons.
And the reason why I brought that up, because I didn't know if that's something that, we could probably use as an exit strategy or something.
To
on
be
some of the
honest, though,
deals
it
that you
ain't even
come
really
across.
that hard to sell them, to be honest. As long as they don't need no bunch of work. Now, these houses don't need, like just cosmetic stuff. They really kind of easy to sell, to be honest.
Okay.
I've really never had trouble getting rid of them. As long as they ain't requiring too much down and requiring too much stuff. You know what I mean? Like it need work and they want a big down payment. It's hard to do that.
But let me
and
ask you this: have you ever put any of your deals like on a flat fee listing on the MLS to get more attention to it, or?
No, I never had to. They always sell quick, especially if it's in a good area. Now, if it's in a rough area, I have to do all this other extra stuff, put bandit signs out, all that type of stuff. But generally, if it's even halfway decent, it's gone within 3 days.
Okay.
It don't take long. See, the demand is 100 times bigger than the supply. So it's so many houses that people want to get into, but they just can't because they can't qualify, like we know. And
right.
So it's really not that big of a thing. Let me take that off.
Well, look at the rent on that house right there, $2,500 a month.
Right.
Oh, I didn't even look at the rent. So they got houses on here.
Yeah. So like if you scroll,
Man, that's a lot of rent. $2,500 a month.
Scroll all the way to the bottom.
Raise your rent.
You scroll all the way to the bottom. They got the cities. If you click on St. Louis,
all the way down here. Oh, St. Louis is here.
And then it shows you all the houses rent to own. Yeah. And
what is that?
That's
the
crazy
one up?
thing. It's pending. So somebody's already wanted it.
Oh, dang, they got this many houses. $2,500 a month, 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Where that's at?
It says Genevieve.
Well, rent is typically 10%.
No, that can't be right.
Down here, south. It's down south.
Oh, it's in St. Genevieve. Okay.
If you look at I guess that is St. Gen, right? It's not actually.
Yeah, hold on, let me refresh this.
Well, it's not quite to Barnhart. It's not quite to St. Gen, right?
Yeah, it's down there.
It's
An hour
Genevieve
south of
Manor.
St. Louis. But them houses go too. I had one out there. Them people, I had a wholesale deal out there. You wouldn't believe how many people was asking would I do seller finance or anything. They had down payments and everything.
Really?
Yeah. That's like people be having that money. $3,500 a month. This ain't right. Oh, that's like from $3,500. That ain't what they getting. So that don't even make sense.
Well, think about it. It's saying like the one I'm sharing on my screen, the very top one says from $1,070 a month with a $1,998 down. So if you pay more down, you probably have a lower payment, obviously.
Yeah. So if you click on the actual listing, it has a box in the middle of the page that gives you a range of like if you put this amount down or put this amount down. The more you put down, the less your payments will be.
Yeah, these down payments too low for me. $2,000 down. I wouldn't put nobody in no house for $2,000 down. Me personally, ever.
So basically, it's the post and note for houses.
Right. So they're basically what they're doing, Chris. They're doing the opposite of what you're doing. Instead of taking the large down payment up front, they'll take the low down payment but kill you on the payment.
See, they killing them on the payment, boy. Woo! Hey, I got a couple where we killing on the payment too. Don't let them fool you. Just a couple.
Bath. 928 feet and 63125 on Holden.
That's a robbery
99.9.
right there, boy. That's a robbery.
You say that's a robbery?
Damn, you said they kill you on a monthly. Kill you on a
Custom.
monthly.
I love the custom pricing. So you click custom pricing, and there you go. It says, well, if I want to pay $5,000 down,
So here's one on Big Bend.
now your rent's $950. So all you're doing is paying. You're saving $100 a month.
So I got a question for y'all. And I want to see what y'all's approach is. It might not affect us that much, only because we have a personality when dealing with people. When we find people's problems. You got sites like Zillow now and Realtor.com. It's basically they've turned into Geico, where get an offer for your house if you don't want a realtor, if you want a realtor, if you don't want this and want that. How do we compete with that? Because that means we have to step out marketing up. Because I don't think there's a personality attached to something like
we don't even have to compete with them because the FCT or FCTC.
FTC.
Those people. They're in the midst of taking care of people like Zillow and offer the instant home offer because they've caught up with them as far as what their tactics are, as far as offering a high amount of money, raising the expectations, and then when they come out to the property, they don't give those people those offers that they actually gave them to get in the door.
Yeah, that would never happen. I figured that was gonna catch up to them.
So OfferPad, they'll on the website you put in your information, they'll tell you, yeah, we'll give you $260,000. Then they come out and see the house, they do their little inspection walkthrough, and then they come back and be like, yeah, we'll give you
$200.
$190.
Damn, they dropping like that?
Yeah. And then two, I would like to see what their pipeline looks like on the older houses, because they don't buy older houses. They buy all new houses.
Yeah.
So I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. And then I think Open Door, they do only like the 2000s or 95 and up or something like that. So I'm sure they have a pipeline of people with older homes that requested offers on those homes that they never got back to.
They feeding those leads to somebody. They got to be
Yeah.
giving them to someone. Why not you? Say, let me get those leads you don't do nothing with.
So do you think they're sending them to like a realtor or what?
Yeah,
what do you think?
to a real estate agent, because it looked like it's all hooked up. Because like that thing I was just looking at had somebody with realty executives on there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They just try to get a listing. Yeah, we would go ahead and love to list your home. I bet you would.
Yeah, I guess it's a free way to list your house is once your information is in the algorithm, man.
Yeah.
They be calling you, and now I can see a way that we can kind of use this as a tool against them. Would be I don't know if you want to be just flooding people's houses in there, because you got to run the company anyway to see what the range is before you. Because we basically doing the same thing, I guess, but we're not.
Well, I do know they don't get to all the people, because I've actually had conversations with people from just off their Facebook ads alone. Like, they don't deal with the comments. So a lot of people just drop their address in the comment of the house that they want to sell. Some people are reasonable, some people are not. I've made a few bucks, but I think it's more inventory than they can handle. Way more inventory than they can handle with those.
Uh-huh.
What are your guys' thoughts on roofstock.com?
Roofstack. I've never heard of that
box so we can look at it. Type that in chat.
Are they similar to like OfferPad or Zillow, or what do they do?
So they're more for like landlords. I'm getting ready to list the house I have in Berkeley that I'll keep it short and sweet, but I wanted to burn that thing down about 5 times and whatnot. But
Since you wanted to burn it down.
I'll
I was
tell
trying to
things to you.
venture outside of my norm, and I decided, to try to get like a contractor that could buy all the material and everything and just handle the whole project. But he ended up running off with about $4,500 of my money, and then we went way over budget because of the stuff that he did do messed up some things. Anyway,
Oh wow.
roofstock.com says, here's this Berkeley house. We're gonna you put a tenant in there paying about $1,000 a month, and we're going to list it for $75,000 because of the cap rates there. And I don't know, it sounds great. I'm probably about $40,000 in this house on a $45,000 to $55,000 house, which no investor wants to be there. I know. I mean, it just went that way because I was thankful that I was able to persevere and not ruin my name or reputation or anything because it was just getting bad. But if
so this
Roofstock
is like
can't perform, huh?
So this is basically like a turnkey site. You put the tenant in there, and then you list it on. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at these cap rates. It's ridiculous. Like a 63137's got a 7% cap rate. Are you serious? Who's buying that? Who buys that?
Caliphate. People out of state. I don't know.
But they're taking advantage of people's ignorance. I think that's a lot of what it is because the common consumer don't even know what a cap rate is unless
True.
you've been like to school for. I mean, you can Google what a cap rate is and get educated, but unless you're like a real guy like that, they taking advantage of people's ignorance. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it's like
Annualized return.
Yeah.
7% and 631.
Well, you gotta
Yeah,
think
that's
about
about
the
right.
The Cali investors don't get those type of rates.
That's good
No,
rates
Cali.
right there. Look where it's at though. 6.3. That's in Glasgow Village,
Right.
where you got to pay
8.6.
that HOA. Did you know they had an HOA in Glasgow Village?
Are you
No
serious?
way.
I didn't know until I sold the house over there. I said, "What you talking about? They got an HOA?" I said, "They don't even cut the grass over here."
Oh wow! I used to stay in Glasgow Village. That was the last place I lived.
I bought a house for
before I moved.
I bought a house for 16,000, held it for 2 weeks, and sold it for 24,000. I wish I could have kept that house, really.
Wow.
So it was like a wholesale double close delay.
So what do you think about the Castle Point? I see people are starting to migrate back over there and buy.
Really?
If you get it low enough, lock it up for $5,000. I get somebody to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll buy anything if the number low enough. Anything.
That's true.
Okay.
You know,
So most of them are pretty beat up over there, though.
get it
And
even
owe a lot
lower.
of taxes.
$1,000. Get that bad boy so low where you can't mess up. For real.
What'd you say?
$1,000.
1,000?
You want to just sign it over? Just deed it over. Sign it over.
I had one lady tell me that before. She was like, "Yeah, you just go downtown and pay the taxes, and you can have it."
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Taxes, and she was 16,000 behind. I was like, "Ain't no way!" Like,
Right. Man.
And that's another closing question, like I was saying earlier, that to Robert. You know, when I talk to some of these people, I just ask them. They ask them a little bit more than what they owe. Would you sell it for what you owe on it?
yeah.
All they can do is say yes or no. I mean,
Right.
because
Right.
but that
So,
situation.
are you going to
16,
eventually move in one, Chris, or are you going to get one and just say, "Yeah, I'm gonna move in this one"?
I ain't never found one to move into yet. Everything I found that I want to move into is 3, 4, 5 bedrooms, which I do not need.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it was one you went to. I think it was out there in St. Charles. That was pretty. Yeah, I think you had to go through the garage or something. Yeah, that was pretty big.
Too big for me.
Too big for you.
I flip it.
Airbnb the other rooms.
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't want nobody in there with me like that. I'd rather just rent the whole thing out or Airbnb the whole thing. But
Good point.
I'm kind of spoiled on living in South County. So
Might as well be.
Have you ever thought about that, Chris?
what?
Getting one and just Airbnb it out?
If I can
Airbnb
get
in all the rooms?
That's the thing, though. I don't repair property. See, every time I get one that's even worth that, it need a bunch of work, and I ain't doing all that work, or it needs something more than I'm willing to do. And it's like, well, I'll just do the exit strategy I love the best, lease option,
Right.
and don't do nothing to it but some paperwork and get my money and keep on moving.
Right.
I don't fix houses, I fix people, but I got to start fixing on something eventually.
True.
Yeah. I mean, that just seems like a ultimate strategy to be able to get one on the lease option or subject to with no money down, and then you're Airbnb in the rooms and making $300-400 a month.
Right, but see, the house has to be able to do
Lord.
that. See, that'd be the only problem. The house had to pass code and be livable to do all of that. And I don't want to do all the work to make it to that standard, or it may not be in an area that will work for Airbnb or short-term rental. But I would
So
love
what
to.
about the ones that like you get that don't need any work?
I never get them. That's the point. The ones I get that don't need work, they get lease option. Somebody come drop big down payment, and I ain't got no money, and I just take the free check and the cash flow.
Yeah.
But
so it's more so that you run across them sometimes with you so spoiled you got to have that check. You got to have it right there and there.
Autopilot. See, Airbnb, you got to manage it or pay somebody to manage it, do the cleaning, do the linens. That's all stuff. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. Now, if the numbers work to where I could pay somebody else to deal with all that, I'm all for it. But I'm not going to do it. I had a cleaning business for 4 years. So I know I'm not going to clean up no house, change no linens, wash no, I'm not doing none of that. And the reason
they pretty much, the people that run the Airbnbs, they pretty much have it on autopilot to where once they get a booking, their cleaning service is notified the day that the booking is over with. So they know they have to go out there and clean it. They have a cleaning fee and all that stuff.
But you got to have somebody set up for that though, right?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like if you find somebody that you can work their fee in on the cleaning fee, it's basically no money out of pocket.
But see,
they get charged the cleaning fee up front.
That's my problem. See, that's my problem though. Finding good help has always been a struggle in entrepreneurship. My whole entrepreneurship life. It sounds good in theory, but it'd be like, because like I said, I had a cleaning business for 4 years. I've been through hundreds of employees. Like,
you used to do like the Jam Pro or what?
No, we did residential. So we had residential. We did probably about, I don't know, 200 or some houses in St. Louis. We had about 5 to 10 commercial contracts at any given time. We did a lot of apartment complexes. So we had cleaners. It was never no shortage on work. Work was never no problem with that because, the marketing and all of that stuff. But them damn workers, oh my God. You'll say, oh, I hate this. And then girls like, oh, I want to work with her. Just all kind of little stuff. Not to say it's bad or wrong, but
and then you got the guys, they work good for 2 weeks and then they get their check and then they miss it for 3 days and broke, come back to work.
And that's the problem with cleaning business itself. It's not a career choice. So they only doing it temporarily to get a few checks, to get them through college, to get through a bill. They work for 2-3 checks and they done. They ain't trying to stick around and be there for no long term.
Yeah.
Cleaning toilets, you know what I mean?
But I think the cleaning business is probably booming right now with the coronavirus. It's probably booming.
We was booming in. We was doing like $20K a month, maybe a little more.
Wow.
Shit, that thing was booming. But like I say, you got to deal with all that. The workers, it's always workers. We was always hiring, always, never quit. And we did get some good workers every once in a while, but a lot of them people wasn't worth the paper that their name was written on. It just wasn't worth it. It's like, you don't even get a name. Let me know when you last 2 weeks. We'll start using your name. You don't get a name. That's how bad it is because it was a revolving door. But
give them my ID, a work ID with prospect on it, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Recycle them. This is Antonio. I'm Sally.
What's up, STL Glory? They say, hi, Rich. Hi, Laura. It's Terrell.
Hey, Terrell. Which Terrell? Which Terrell is?
What are you doing with that bow tie on? Look at him. He getting clean over there. Well, it's on the YouTube.
Is it Darden?
I guess so. It say STL Glory, so I believe it is. I can't tell by the picture. He's so clean.
If he's dressed up, I know that's him.
Yeah, if he's got a bow tie on.
Yeah, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
Bow tie?
Yeah, you're supposed to be on the live stream with your bow tie on.
Slick.
Come on,
know, man. Why? Man, I'm getting upset. He never comes on our live anymore. Never shows his face, man.
He just comes say hi and get on up out of here. But yeah.
He got mad at me bouncing between Terrell and Terrell. That's what it was. I know it.
Just call him. What up, T?
T.
So, Rich, you do more business over in Illinois, or
what's that?
You do more business in Illinois than Missouri, or?
I mean, it seems it works out that way usually, but no, I mean, I'm doing some Missouri deals too and stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I'm not complaining about it.
Thanks to
I wish
Rich.
I would have known about you when I had those deals that I was working in Illinois that I couldn't find nobody for.
Right.
Buying colleges and all that stuff around there.
We should have known that too, man. I wish you'd have known about that too. Laura kills in Illinois too, though.
Yeah.
Loving that new hairstyle there, Laura.
Ew. It's not, my hair doesn't get in my food anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm much classier now.
You know, prim and proper.
Yeah, I should be, as long as I pass my damn test, I should be getting licensed in Illinois this week. So another tool in my tool belt. So y'all.
Oh wow!
I'm sending them to Laura now. No.
People want to give me their Illinois leads, and it's like, got to add these tools to the tool belt. If you know about the climate in Illinois right now, you know it's changed. So I'm adapting. So I'm just throwing that out there for people who might be looking for an investor savvy, licensed / knows how to work outside the box type of person.
Oh yeah, you definitely know how to work outside the box with those Jennings deals. I see them all the time.
Licensed Laura Lennington. There we go.
Yeah. But
Triple
still
L.
doing the traditional stuff too, guys. I mean, I love to wholesale. I love to work with investors. I just want to make sure I can help them one extra way.
So you ain't got to wait for nobody else to say, oh, we got to be licensed in Illinois. Got it.
Right. And I was already referring my listing leads to an investor-friendly realtor. And it was great. But I mean, like, you can only refer so many of those before you start like counting the dollars. You're like, man, I did it again. I could have done it again. Anyway, so you know how that goes.
Is it going to be hard to get the license there or what?
I don't think so. I've already put many hours into a very short window of time to my online course, 75 hours, tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of quizzes and tests, 2 big tests. So then I have to take another big test on Thursday at a proctored place, closed book, blah, blah, blah. But I don't see any reason why it won't work out. It is time consuming. But having a little bit of experience, it went quicker than it probably would for someone who doesn't have a little experience. It's doable for anyone. I mean, I'll say that to begin with, but there were times I was pulling my hair out around 10:30, 11 at night, trying to get that freaking online stuff done. But
so you saying, so it only took you what, a week, or how long it take you to get it?
Well, I freaking worked my butt off for about six days to get 75 hours done and through everything, just because I have a particular listing I want to be ready for whenever it's ready, which could be, I don't know when it would be, but I just don't want I don't want anyone to feel like I'm not ready.
Hey, Laura, you mind sharing the link to the online real estate license place that you're using?
I would love to, because number one, you do get a discount, and number two, I get a $25 Amazon gift card, and I buy all my books on Amazon. I'll put it in the comments. And so what I used, since someone is asking specifically, I used Real Estate Express. And I actually really liked it. I thought I wanted to do in-person stuff, but I chose online just because of the time constraints. And so for someone who generally likes to be in a classroom, it actually was great. They bust all the information up to chapters, and it is repetitive information, which is kind of nice because you can kind of go through the later chapters a little faster because you've already read some of it. And it's all information they have to give you, so you can't be mad at them. But the course is pretty easy to use, and you can just do it on your own time, at your own pace. And I just really, really liked it as an alternative to an in-person course. So I'll put the link. I'll look up the link now and put it in the Zoom chat. And
you have a broker you're going to be working for that's investor friendly as well, or what?
I have to nail that down next week. I have 2 in mind. I know one will have me. The other, I have to. Well, I know the broker will have me. I have a team in mind, but wait to see how that goes.
Tell them you only want to give them 1% of your deals. Negotiate 1% of your deals.
Right.
Instead of the 2.5.
I'm hoping to bring a good listing if I can. That would entice I don't know. We'll see. I just want to get somewhere where it's a win-win situation. That's what real estate is. Everything you do, it's just got to, everyone's got to feel like they're a winner in the situation. So I've got 2 brokerages in mind, and either one will work, I think. So yeah,
Cool.
we'll see.
Good luck.
You could always
Good luck.
change it up too.
Because that's another thing I'll be looking at too. Like, because I've seen some agents that's like, oh, my broker won't let me do this. And I'm like, what? My broker? And I'm like, change brokers. Hell, I am sitting up here talking what my broker gonna let me do.
Yeah, there is a lot of that to consider. I've already run into it a little bit, but I don't know.
My
You
broker
just gotta-
says wholesaling's illegal. I don't care what your broker say, they wrong.
I think 100% commission is like the best thing. I don't even care if you're a new agent. I think 100% commission. You just hang in your license, you pay a flat fee, and you get your check, and you determine, what you want to do.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
The best move.
If somebody's willing to do that, though.
Yeah.
See, everybody.
Well, there's a lot of companies, real estate companies, that are online based. Like, they just have virtual offices in the city. It's a few in Dallas that are 100% virtual. They just have offices.
Like that.
Yeah, the guy who came to that live thing in my office had one of them, right, Rich?
Yep. Yeah, I think it's EXP, right? I think EXP.
Yeah, I think EXP is one, and then there's another one, Platinum Realty, that's here. And they get a fee at closing, like $175 or something, depending on how much the sale is.
Oh, that ain't bad. Yeah.
Y'all want to hear a funny story?
What you got?
Sure we do. But it better be funny.
It is. So I sent out a text blast, asked a gentleman that they want to sell a house. So he throws in his 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, I'll let it go for $350,000, right? Because I'm not going to buy that. But I could sell the finances. But anyway, so he asked me where I can get his number from. So, from my marketing team, they passed your information to me. So now he don't sell. I'm confused. Do you want to sell or you don't want to sell? Or are you upset that I got your number from my marketing team? Because I guarantee you, somebody at Zillow, Keller Williams, all these places, they're going to get your information because I'm sure you put your phone number and address in something. So what's the difference between me and Keller Williams, other than the fact I don't have a license yet? I mean, I'm not selling houses. I'm selling paper. So I don't know.
Yeah, when they ask me, where'd you get my number? Man, everything's on Google. Ha, ha, ha. So you do want to sell, right? Get right back to the script. I don't even play them games about where I found my number. Everything's on Google. Everything. You can't hide from the Uncle Google.
Nope.
Even though we probably didn't get them from Google, but they'll just say, oh, wow. Oh, okay. But they probably didn't want to sell for real. They probably just trying to find out some information.
So quick thing I want to share with you there, Chris, is I've been trying to squeeze into the virtual thing, trying to do something. So I had a Missouri real estate investor reach out to me about a deal in Illinois, and we wanted to try to do the whole thing virtual. And got as much information. I mean, got a bunch of information about what was needed, what had been done, all this to the house. So we whipped up. I ran comps. I plugged in like a rehab. I did the whole thing. Came up with an offer and wanted to submit it virtually. And they didn't want to get it virtual. They wanted me face to face, get the offer after we've seen the house. Like, no, you need to come see the house and give us an offer. And I'm like, what the heck? Of course, I wasn't the one direct to seller. The other guy was, but it was just, man, it's like, what do you do? Like, I mean, do you encounter that where people are hesitant to, just do a deal over the phone without you seeing the house?
Sometimes it's not a problem, usually because I just tell them, so if I do come out and everything looks good and we agree on this price, you ready to get the paperwork started today? Because I'm not just coming out there to look in no house. I'm coming out there for you to sign this paper. I'm not going just to see your house. I don't even care what your house looks like, to be honest. That's just, It's just a house. We've seen thousands. There's walls, windows, kitchen, bathroom. What else? It's the same stuff. It's just another house. I haven't had a problem with that. But if somebody do want to meet, that's not a problem. I'm just very clear about we getting some paperwork started if I come out there. I'm not just coming out there to be looking.
Right.
As long as they're okay with that and they're like, oh yeah, great. Paperwork already done before I pull up. All we gotta do is fill in the numbers. Sign here and here. Let's go. But ain't nothing wrong with it. It might be worth it. But just now your number gonna go lower.
Right.
Or, position it as your question, versus instead of saying, oh, my offer is 50,000. I would ask them. So, I'd love to come out and take a look at it. But let me ask you this before I come out there. I don't want to waste your time or mine. Would you consider this 50,000 for it? Is that even in the ballpark? And let them tell you from there versus assuming that, oh, yeah, because you can get out there. I want 120 and I ain't dropping a penny. Well, I ain't coming to see it. Ain't nothing to see.
True.
You want full retail, and I'm not that guy. Unless you'll take these sweetheart terms, which is no money down, 0% interest, really possible.
That's I've got one right now. I've got to call back tomorrow because she would not commit to a number. Would not. This lady, no matter what, I threw every curveball at her trying to get her to look. There's a reason why I need a number. I need to know if I'm wasting your time, you're wasting my time. I want to drive all the way out there to get there and find out we're way apart on numbers. I need to know where you're at. Nope, you just need to come see the house. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, tell you what, let me call you back. So I'm like running the numbers based off of what she's saying just to see if where I need, where I think it needs to be. So I'm gonna call back tomorrow and say, hey, this is where we're at. Is that anywhere close to what you need to be? Because it could go down if I get there and it needs more work. It could go, that number could go down. I need to know if we're even going to be able to start talking about a deal.
Yeah, it's not usually a problem, but just some people are more old school. Some people don't have email. There are older people that you have to go get belly to belly with and sign off on stuff. They don't want to do no DocuSign and stuff. Those are the better deals, but I am going to get it even cheaper. If I got to come to your house, the deal, believe me, I'm getting it locked up even lower now.
So I'm dropping at least $30 to cover my gas.
Yeah, you ain't think you gonna make me work? Oh hell no.
Yeah, we got a house I'm supposed to go see tomorrow night with another investor that three brothers, it's an inherited property, three brothers in on it, and all three brothers, it's like, well, can we just send you the contract? And they're like, nope. Like, we don't want to do anything electronic. We want everything in paper. Okay.
Well, as long as they agree, at least they give you a verbal agreement to the number. I'm fine with that. Or even in the ballpark. It looked like we're around the 45 to 50 range. You think that's something that'll work for you?
Right.
And you got to pause and give them a chance and let them vent it out. Because sometimes they might say, oh, it's so low. Oh, man, I can't believe you went that low, and still take the offer. I don't care about no complaining. Sign this paper with this low number.
I was going through a follow-up, and that's a huge thing. I was going through a follow-up today. I had a few of them. I was checking. I always pull them up to see if they've sold. Is it worth calling this number? Is it already sold? And I looked, this one sold, and I looked at it, and I remembered the reason I put it in my file was to call back later was because they wanted 40,000 for the house, and I knew there's no. Even 40,000 for the house, it needed to be like 15, maybe. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to put it in my file and I'll follow up when it comes time to it. So I pull it out. Sure enough, it's sold for 10.
After all that, because somebody went on and went for the jugular and let them know reality.
Yep. They kept at it. And I put it off for 3 months.
Damn, it happens. That's the real number. Somebody gave them real life.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I need to check my system.
You worked the body, they got to the head.
Yeah, true. Exactly. I warmed down.
Chris, I know you wrote a lot of constant statements when you was against the yellow.
Yeah, that's a struggle for everybody. I think that follow up. I know I missed many deals from failing to follow up on stuff.
Just all about timing, and I didn't have the timing down. Who knows? If I'd have called them a week earlier, maybe I'd have gotten it.
I know I missed some great deals. I had a house out in Maryland Heights. This lady was willing to do terms and everything. All the house needed was a new deck put back on it. Didn't have nothing to do with the house. The house was renovated like a year before. So just the back deck needed to be redone. And she was willing to do it on terms. And I did not follow up, and she ended up selling it to another investor. Now, I don't know if they bought it for cash or what, but I saw that it transferred, the deed transferred. because she was in our thing. And I said, let me see if she sold this house. Look, sold it to some LLC. I said, damn, I didn't follow up.
Another one I followed up on was one I had made an offer on, super low ball offer. I mean, I knew it was a low offer, but I didn't think it was going to be crazy low, but I thought it was low. And so again, it's like, well, I'm going to follow up, see if they ever sold it, because they didn't like it. Their answer to the question, what are you going to do if it doesn't sell, was, well, we'll just keep it ourselves and rent it. So I was like, well, let me see if they ever put it on the market to rent. Let me see what's going on with this. Followed up. My offer was like $16,250, and they sold it for $40 last month. I was like, wow. I mean, good for you, sir. I mean, hey, good for you. Some sucker paid $40 for it.
Congratulations. I ain't mad.
No, exactly. Good for you. But
so even when they say something like that, like you ask them, what are you going to do if you're not able to sell it? And we'll rent it out. Great. Well, we do have a program in place for people like you in a situation like this. They just talk themselves into a lease option if you want to lease it. I don't really like to aim for that first, but right. That is an option to say, well, since you were going to rent it out anyway, you can rent it to me. Don't have to worry about maintenance, repairs, tenants, toilets, termites, and trouble, and just collect the check like Bank of America and sit back and don't have to worry about it no more. I'm like, oh, wow, how does that work? And then they're ready to go from that point, if that's a play that you want to do. You know what I mean? I usually don't try to aim for a lease. I really want to get the deed.
Yeah, true. True. You got any other questions or anything online there, Chris? Anybody make any comments? I'm gonna check.
Yeah, we had a bunch of comments in here. They said there's a lot of stuff in here. I think I mentioned some of it. They were just asking. They was asking, I guess, a house we were talking about earlier. What type of house is it? A brick or a frame? I don't know what house that was. That could have been any house, probably a brick house.
Right.
Just comments, no questions. Are there any questions? Drop them in here, y'all, before we wrap this thing up. We've been on here about 2 hours. We got all the heavy hitters in here. Bobby Blue, what it do? Double L, triple L, Laura Lennington licensed Laura Lennington, triple L.
I should not have said anything until I passed that damn test.
Nah, we gonna root you on now.
Knocking on wood for you.
You're gonna pass it with flying colors. You're gonna be an instructor for licenses.
That's right. That's right.
You're gonna open up the Laura Lennington School of Real Estate Learning.
Licensed Laura Lennington Learning Center.
Laura Lennington Licensed Learning Center.
That's right.
A lot of things there. Anybody else have any other questions, comments, concerns before we get up out of here and do some more woke stuff? So what's the next stream, Rich?
The next stream is 2 weeks from tonight on the 27th of October. We should make that a costume party.
A costume. I already wearing one.
So the 27th at 6 p.m. We are having that special face-to-face on the 22nd. So if you can make that at the Maryland Heights Hooters, that would be fantastic. Yes, I'm looking at you, Triple L. No, I'm such an idiot. But yeah, that's great. I mean, any St. Louis investor that wants to make that one, that would be awesome. If I've never met you, come on out. Say, hey, it's a Thursday. Whoops, wrong way. Thursday, October 22nd. There we go. Might get the finger direction wrong there. 6 p.m. Maryland Heights Hooters. And then we're going to start doing them every third Thursday at the Maryland Heights Hooters in the PM at 6 p.m. time.
Thirsty Thursdays.
Thirsty third Thursdays. Absolutely.
Cool.
That's what I got going on, Chris.
That's cool. I just do that Monday night radio show. I'll be on this week with a JV team that made $14,000 on a wholesale deal out in Atlanta. They'll be coming on giving their case or real estate case analysis or deal analysis on how they found the deal, all that type of stuff. Made $14K, no license, no cash, no credit involved, clean check on a nice little JV deal. That's this Monday night. We'll be bringing them on. And then we got D. Stevens coming on the following Monday, which is, I think, the 26th.
Okay, that's awesome.
Monday night, raw, real estate style.
You can't do that in real estate. You can't make money, good money. You can't make life-changing money investing in real estate.
Shoot.
Generational changing money.
Shoot. They just wired me a check today. Shoot. Wire me one every week. Shoot. Make me feel better.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Peace to the family. Thanks everybody for coming on. We'll see you on the next one, right?
That's right. That's right. 27th, right?
The
Yep,
27th, almost Halloween. And I'll be seeing y'all on the next one.
Sounds good, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks,
Good
everybody.
talking with you.
Thanks for calling, everybody. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Peace to the fams.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. You're welcome. And that's how we do it right here, everybody. We're going to have you on, like I said, the next show. Let's see, when is that? This Monday, we're on with Miss Ashley and Joseph. They did $14,000 on a wholesale deal. We're going to talk about that real estate case study, deal analysis, wholesale deal, $14K in the bank, a partnership. They got to get them, I guess, $7,000 each. I don't know if it was 50-50 or not, but I'm going to ask them that this Monday night, October the 19th, 2 days after my born day. That's right. My born day is this weekend, October 17th. Lucky Libra season is coming to a close eventually, but we're in it for right now. And then the following week on the 26th of October, we're on with Mr. D. Stevens, real estate strategist and coach, talking about that real estate strategy. If you haven't already, be sure to join the free Facebook group called the Woke Real Estate Investors Group on Facebook, talking about subject to, talking about lease options, talking about seller financing, and so much more. That's the Woke Real Estate Investing Group on Facebook. And if you're looking for contracts, cool gear, or coaching, check out that wokerealestate.com. Also, if you want to be notified of those Monday night shows so you don't have to depend on Periscope, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube to remind you, all you have to do is text that keyword JV to 31996. That's the keyword JV to 31996. That'll get you the joint venture agreement and put you on the notification list to be notified of when we go live. If you're listening to this on the Woke Real Estate Podcast, please give us a 5-star rating. If you're listening on YouTube, check out that bang that bell down there to be notified of when we go live. Plus, give us a thumbs up. We need the boost and approve. All right. So with all that being said, do what you do, be who you be, and I'll see you before you see me. Peace.
And we have Mr. I Stay. Whoa, and Mr. I Stay.
Today's broadcast is being brought to you by WokeSkipTracing.com. Look up phone numbers and email addresses with ease, with pricing as low as only 15 cents per match. Not per search, per match. If there's no number or email address, you don't pay. Get accurate data in just minutes. WokeSkipTracing.com. That's WokeSkipTracing.com.